Alright YouTube, what's going on? Today I'm going to show you guys a sample I made in the style of Travis Scott Utopia, his album that's coming out really soon. I'm really hyped for it, so I'm gonna do a breakdown of a sample I made in that kind of style. I'm first gonna let you guys hear the melody, and after that I'm going to break it down step by step. Alright, so for the breakdown, I made use of 4 different instruments, a synth, a harp, a bass, and after that a bell. And when I added the effects on the instruments, I rendered them out and I got till 6 layers. So I'm gonna go first into the synth and let you guys hear it. So for this progression I used tension notes to get the dark feeling that I wanted to go for in the sample. And without these tension notes it sounds like this. Pretty boring and dull. But as soon as you add these tension notes, you immediately get that vibe. The dark, eerie kind of vibe that Travis is known for. Yeah, after that I do the same chord progression but 5 semitones down, and I played around with the velocities, although it's not really random, but it sounds really nice, and that's the most important thing. After that I added a S1 imager stereo and I put it to the left side of the mix, and after that I sent it to the reverb bus, which has a Valhalla vintage verb. And what I did here is I played around with the pre-delay, the decay, the low cut, the attack, and the shape of the reverb room, and I turned down the mix a bit. So for the second instrument we got the harp, although it's not really sounding like a harp, it's more like a pad in the sample. So I'm gonna first play it without the effects, so you guys can hear what it used to sound like. So what I did here, I just drew in a melody that I heard in my head. For the second part, I also pitched down 5 semitones. But then we get to the effects, and then it sounds like this. So I played around with the velocities on the harp as well. And for the effects, we got the ambient echoes. It's a preset in Effect Track. It's just a preset. I didn't really tweak around with the knobs. After that, I put it on the right side in the mix with the S1 stereo imager. I added a soothe to cut out the harsh frequencies, and soothe does it for me. So yeah, I'm just a bit lazy. Instead of handpicking the harsh frequencies myself, I let soothe do it. After that I added a cassette, and what I did here is I turned the mix down to 20%, so you get a kind of phasing modulation effect, which is pretty nice. And after that I put a halftime on it, and what I did for the halftime is I played around with the smooth knob, because it first sounded like this. What you can hear these kind of clicking notes on the transition of the notes. And that's not really a smooth listening experience. So what I did, I turned up the smooth, and then you get rid of that clicking noise you guys can hear. It's just really smooth flowing now. So what I did here is I put it into mono for like 44%. So you get a vintage kind of vibe going on, because back in the days instruments were recorded in mono. And in this sample I wanted to go for that kind of feeling. That's basically it for the harp pad kind of effect. After that I drew in a bass melody to get a rhythm going in the sample. And yeah, just not really much going on here. Just a simple progression. And with the velocity I didn't play around. For the effects, it's pretty simple. I just threw a decapitator on it on the E preset, and I drove the drive up to around 3. And what I did, I put on a high cut EQ shelf, so you get pure bass sound. And after that we got the bell, and the bell sounds like this. So a really nice sound, also heavily processed, and there's a lot of delay on it that you guys can hear. So first I started with a chorus June 6 with the mode 1+2 preset. After that I threw on a delay tape with the Mangled Time Machine preset. And after that I used a Fruity Delay 3 to add some more delay. Then I used a Penman so you can hear the bell going from right to left and from left to right. Then a cassette again. This time I just had the mix level on 100%, and I used the chorusy preset. Then a halftime on this as well to get in the same kind of motion going as the harp with the halftime. Then I used a fruity parametric EQ with a low cut shelf to cut out the low frequencies. And after that a soothe with a bit more soothing going on, if you can say it like that. And this one I turned all the way to mono. After that that's basically it for the instruments. After that I recorded them out into these stems. And it's pretty much the same on this part, but what I did add on this C kind of section is I stretched the original synth and harp melody to 1/4 or 1/8 bar. So it sounds like this. It's a really cool sound. And I also did that with the bells. But what I did add is I reversed the bells so it has a call and response. So when you play the sample here, on this part the bell is reversing, and when it's up in volume, about to go down, you hear this bell, so you get this kind of effect. And that's just a really nice touch in the sample and in music in general when you have call and response in your music. So after that I got to the master section. And what I do a lot these days is I use this Master Bus Glue Punch preset, and it's a TG mastering chain from Abbey Road Studios. It's in the Wave collection. After that I used a J37 to add a bit of saturation to the sample. And the last thing I did is I used a sound shifter to pitch it down to semitones. And I used a soothe just for the last part to cut out some harsh frequencies. And that's basically the sample. Another thing I added, but I was not sure if I wanted to keep it, was this flute. But it's not really in tune right now. maybe if I pitch it down too. No. Up maybe. Yeah. Yeah, I was not really sure if I wanted to add this in the sample because it gets really busy, and I like my samples really simple, so the artist has a lot of room to yeah, just rap. But yeah, I can use this flute and render it out if you guys want it and want to use it. So just let me know in the comments. And that's basically it for this sample. I hope you guys enjoyed it, and maybe you guys learned something from my process of making samples. Yeah, be sure to leave a like and comment down in the description if you really liked the video. And I'll be back soon with another sample breakdown. Have a good one. Cheers.